fucking breathing. You do. What's the game plan?
I want you to be quiet.
Tell you right now, you
Stop.
fucking asshole.
Stop. Just take it. Can you take it down?
The movie begins with Jack Hunter, a former secret warrior, entering a dark, noisy bar filled with drunk people. He looks around carefully, alert and focused like a hunter watching his prey. After choosing a seat, his attention locks onto a young man wearing a distinctive bracelet. Meanwhile, a seductive dancer comes up to him, trying to lure him into the mysterious world of another dancer named RZ, while also showing curiosity about Jack's true identity. Across the room, the young man wearing the bracelet, Bobby, was surrounded by a group of women. When he saw Jack talking to the dancer, jealousy took over. He called her to come to him, but she refused and told him to stay away. Angry, Bobby stormed over to Jack and told him to leave. Jack didn't want any trouble and started to walk away, but Bobby blocked his way and pushed him. Jack reacted in self-defense and hit Bobby, leaving him with a bloody nose. The commotion drew everyone's attention, and soon a group of tough men in the bar moved in to attack Jack. Jack was an experienced fighter and easily defeated his attackers. In the middle of the chaos, a powerful man named Nichols entered the bar with his men. Nichols was both a businessman and a crime boss. His crew surrounded Jack and forced him to put his hands on the bar. To Jack's surprise, he discovered that Bobby was Nichols' son. When Jack refused to say who he was, Nichols ordered one of his men to knock him unconscious. Jack woke up in a police station and saw Nichols waiting for him, demanding answers. Jack stayed silent, which made Nichols even angrier. Nichols then told one of his men to force Jack to talk. After Nichols left, one of the men took out a photo they had found among Jack's things and showed it to him in the interrogation room. Then they covered his head with a bag and tried to suffocate him. Just as things were about to turn deadly, Chief Kim entered and stopped them. The men backed away and Chief Kim apologized to Jack. Just as Chief Kim was about to let Jack go, he suddenly turned on her and took her hostage at gunpoint. He calmly told her she would be safe as long as she did what he said. Still holding her at gunpoint, Jack walked through the police station lobby and escaped in a police car. Meanwhile, Nichols returned home where he lived with his sister, Maggie. Still angry, he burst into Bobby's room and demanded to know who Jack really was. Bobby admitted he didn't know much but insisted he could deal with it. Nichols angrily scolded him for always causing trouble. Later that evening during dinner, Nichols showed a photo he had taken from the police station. The picture made Bobby uncomfortable, suggesting that he might have some kind of secret connection to the woman in it. Meanwhile, Jack stopped his car on the side of the road and opened the trunk. Inside, he found a hidden stash of weapons, an important discovery. As he looked through them, Kim's voice came over the radio, asking him to return. But Jack refused, saying he needed to find out the truth about his missing daughter, the woman in the photo. At the end of the day, Nichols and Maggie met with a rich landowner and a politician. Together, they planned to make money from a massive underground water source beneath the neighborhood by forcing the residents to leave. They believed this deal would make them very wealthy. Later, they returned to their luxurious home. While Nichols went outside to smoke, Maggie stayed inside alone. Suddenly, Jack showed up with a gun and confronted Nichols. Aiming the gun at him, Jack demanded to know where Nichols' daughter, Melissa, was and threatened to shoot if he didn't answer. As the tension grew, Bobby, Nichols' son, walked in. Jack demanded the truth and forced Nichols to explain what really happened. Terrified, Bobby confessed that he had been involved in Melissa's disappearance, but insisted he never wanted to hurt her. He said their relationship had been complicated and revealed that the bracelet he wore had belonged to her. He then admitted that during a party, he had pressured Melissa into taking dangerous drugs, which caused her to overdose. Furious, Jack shot and killed Bobby. When Maggie heard the gunfire, she fired back at Jack in revenge. Bobby died in Nichols' arms, sending Nichols into a rage. He immediately ordered his men to hunt Jack down without mercy. Badly injured, Jack stumbled through a forest of palm trees, struggling to stay ahead of the gunman. Bullets whizzed past him, but he managed to dodge them. Despite the pain and fear, he kept moving and fired back to hold them off. Victor, one of Nichols' most trusted men, led the group chasing Jack. Tired and in pain, Jack stopped to rest and took off his heavy gear to treat his wound. As the men got closer, one of them approached his hiding spot. Jack saw the chance, quickly overpowered him, and then shot another man with deadly accuracy. Meanwhile, at the police station, Kim updated her team about Jack. At the same time, Deputy Bart Bartlett got a phone call from a man named Stone. Stone told Bartlett to go to the farm, but warned him not to tell Kim. Bartlett followed Stone, and soon they heard gunfire in the distance. While searching the area, they found one of Stone's men lying on the ground, shot and dying. Terrified, Bartlett panicked and ran away, leaving Stone behind. Realizing Jack had escaped, Stone decided to use a drone to find him. Meanwhile, as Bartlett was running, Jack suddenly appeared and ambushed him with a gun. Bartlett begged Jack to spare his life, saying he was a good and innocent cop. Jack let him live but warned him to tell only Kim about his location and no one else. After that, Jack found a small shack where he hid and treated his injuries. At the police station, Bartlett told Kim everything that had happened. Meanwhile, at the farm, the police chief arrived to meet Nichols. Victor was also there and urged them to solve the problem quickly so it wouldn't disrupt their business plans. Kim and Bartlett were both shocked and worried when they learned what was happening. Bartlett suggested calling for help from nearby districts, but Kim was afraid that involving others might anger Nichols. They decided to handle the investigation on their own. Kim also wanted to meet Jack to ask about his daughter, but she feared that his desperation might push him to do something dangerous. Nichols confided in Maggie, admitting he was afraid Jack might come after him for revenge. Maggie tried to calm him, promising they would handle Jack and protect their business, even though things between them were tense. That night, Jack sat alone in an empty warehouse, deep in thought. Memories from his past came back, especially a talk with his former Black Ops commander, Murphy. He remembered how his job had taken over his life, leaving him almost no time for his daughter, Melissa. Melissa had become addicted to drugs, and Jack had once introduced her to a friend who was also dealing with addiction. Because he had been absent for so long, Melissa grew bitter and angry toward him. Jack remembered the last time he tried to reconnect with her after many years apart, but she couldn't forgive him for abandoning her when she needed him most. Deep down, he still wished for a second chance to make things right with her. The next day, Murphy arrived at Nichols' mansion by helicopter. He ignored Maggie's questions and went straight to talk with Nichols. Murphy said he was the only one skilled enough to catch Jack and warned Nichols not to take Jack lightly. He also made it clear that he knew a lot about Nichols' security company and his powerful connections. Murphy offered to capture Jack alive, but Nichols demanded that Jack be killed instead. Jack hid in a small shack and slept for a long time. The next day, he woke up to find Stone and his soldiers surrounding the place with their guns ready. They launched a heavy attack, but Jack fought back with everything he had, disarming several of them and breaking their assault. In the end, he stood over a wounded Stone, demanding answers. Back at the mansion, Nichols heard the gunfire and shouting through the radio. Murphy once again insisted that Jack should be captured alive, but Maggie was determined to have him killed. Kim went to the farm to look for Jack and eventually found him. She aimed her gun at him, but Jack calmly said that if he had wanted to hurt her, he would have done it already. Trusting her skills as a good cop, Jack asked for her help in taking down Nichols. He also believed Kim might know something about his daughter Melissa's disappearance. Jack urged her to investigate Melissa's case and promised to contact her when the time was right. Jack went back to the warehouse, where Stone sat tied up and covered in blood. Holding a knife to his throat, Jack demanded to know the truth about Melissa. Stone admitted he had been at the party when Melissa overdosed and was caught in a compromising situation with Bobby, After sending everyone else away, he had planned to take advantage of her while she was weak. Then, without thinking, Stone let slip that Melissa was already dead. Overcome with anger and grief, Jack lost control and stabbed Stone in the neck, killing him instantly. Murphy met with Victor and told him he would finish what Nichols couldn't, stopping Jack. Later, he went to the police station to see Kim and Bartlett, ordering them to keep everything quiet. Together, they looked over the map of the farm and realized that Jack wasn't trying to run away. He was out for revenge against Nichols. Suddenly, Jack's voice came over the radio. Murphy told him to surrender and warned that a special forces team could be sent to capture him. But Jack said he trusted Murphy and only wanted justice for Melissa, whom he considered his daughter. He swore to punish everyone responsible for what happened to her, starting with Nichols. Murphy warned Kim and her team to get ready for a big fight because Jack was on his way. Taking advantage of a chance, Jack attacked a man, stole his truck, and drove into town with one goal: revenge. As night fell, Murphy placed his men in several buildings, ready for battle. When Jack arrived in town, he overheard the mercenaries talking about their positions and how they planned to track him down. Jack readied his rifle for the upcoming fight. A skilled sniper spotted him and took a shot but missed. Immediately, a fierce gunfight erupted. The mercenaries gathered in the town hall courtyard, and the night was filled with gunfire and chaos. Jack proved his skill by taking out the sniper and several trained soldiers. They tried to surround him, but he fought back and took them down one by one. A grenade exploded nearby, stunning him for a moment, but Jack quickly recovered and ran for cover. The mercenaries chased him into a building, where he hid and prepared to fight again. Meanwhile, Murphy ordered Kim and Bartlett to find a vehicle and get out of the town hall as fast as they could. At the same time, two men approached the building where Jack was hiding. Jack quickly took down the first man, then got into a fierce fight with the second. In the end, Jack overpowered him and won. Kim was driving away from the building when Jack suddenly appeared in front of her car, forcing her to stop. He got in and demanded that she take him to Nichols. Meanwhile, Nichols and Maggie were consumed by guilt. Nichols wished he had made better choices and thought about the time when everything in his life had been perfect. Overcome with regret and sadness, Maggie decided to leave and go back home. Nichols stood alone for a moment before deciding to head home. When he arrived, he was shocked to find Jack already there, holding Maggie at gunpoint. Jack ordered Nichols to drop his weapon and sit down. Then he demanded to know the truth about what had happened to his daughter. When Nichols refused to speak, Jack began torturing Maggie by breaking her fingers. Eventually, Nichols gave in and confessed. He admitted he had known about Melissa's drug addiction, just like his son Bobby, who had faced the same problem. Nichols revealed that Melissa had died from an overdose and swore he had nothing to do with her death. Enraged, Jack pointed his gun at Nichols and demanded to know where Melissa's body was. During the confrontation, Kim and her team heard the commotion and quickly called for backup. More officers arrived at the farm and arrested Nichols right away. Police cars surrounded the house. Jack brought Nichols and Maggie outside, where Murphy tried to calm him down and told him to lower his gun. Overwhelmed by grief for his daughter, Jack broke down in tears. Soon after, the truth was revealed. Melissa hadn't died at the party. She was still alive when Nichols and Bobby took her to the lake. Bobby wanted to save her, but Nichols said it was too late and claimed Melissa had caused too many problems. Nichols argued with Bobby, then told Stone to take his son home. After they left, Nichols dragged Melissa into the lake and forced her underwater until she drowned. Jack kept his gun aimed at Nichols while Maggie stood nearby, ready to take revenge for what he had done to Melissa. Murphy tried to calm Jack as his team arrested Nichols and Maggie. Exhausted and covered in blood, Jack could only stand and watch. Kim approached him and urged him to get medical help. Jack thanked her for always believing in him, and she told him that Melissa would be proud of him for fighting for justice. After a while, Jack left the scene, lost in thoughts of Melissa imagining her walking beside him and holding his hand. Meanwhile, Bartlett was driving Nichols and Maggie away when a black truck suddenly blocked the road. He tried to back up, but Murphy appeared with a machine gun and opened fire, killing them for what they had done to Melissa. The story ends with a dark message. Never underestimate a father driven by revenge. You might face a deadly end from someone waiting in the shadows.